All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and dive right into the tutorial itself of exactly how to build a Canva website together. So first and foremost, what I want to show you is this is actually mine right now. And if you were to start scrolling down, if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see that there's actually a menu on the top, which makes it like navigable. And there's also little things that allow you to click on stuff. So if I click on this, for example, it will open up my Instagram. If I click on this, it will take me to the location that I'm trying to go to, as if it were a menu item itself. And if I do something like this, I've actually embedded individual videos in these and also kind of scrolled through more than one video. So what I'm going to do is actually show you exactly how you can build something like this yourself today. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and log into your Canva account. I do recommend getting a premium, I think is what it's called, or a pro subscription. I think it's like $13 a month. It completely changed the game for me and all of my students. So I highly recommend you go ahead and do the same. However, if you don't want to, this can be done in the free version, but you're going to have limited access to certain things that I'm going to show. So I just recommend, if you don't already have a Canva Pro subscription, go ahead and grab that. And if you're not on Canva at all for some reason, go ahead into the description. I will actually link exactly how you can get that started. So the first thing that we're going to do is come over here and click create a design right under the Canva logo. And we're going to find website. In this case, I'm just going to make it easier and type in website for myself. And there are tons of different templates that you can choose from right within Canva. I like to personally go through things like portfolio, or if we even type in, let's say like UGC portfolio, let's see, media kit. So there's a couple of different things that you can choose from. What we're using this website for today is going to be to help you land more brand deals with UGC. However, you can literally use a Canva website for anything, but this is my favorite place to host all of these things for free rather than paying for a domain or using like Squarespace or something of that nature for hosting. So we're going to use this for whatever you want, but for today's purposes, I'm going to use it to show you how to build a portfolio from scratch. So you can obviously type in different things to see which ones you want to go through. I'm actually going to go ahead and just go back to portfolio so we can build an entire portfolio. When you're in here, you're going to see stuff like this that has like a little play button on it. And that means that it is an animated template, if that makes sense. So it kind of looks like a little bit like a video, but it doesn't have to be a video. All of these things can be animated or unanimated. So let's just say we want to choose this one, for example. When we open that up, you'll see that there are currently 9 pages to choose from. And I like them, but it's not very photo and video established. Like I'm seeing a lot of text. So I kind of want to see a little bit more of the photo and video space. Honestly, most of these are like that. Let me find a good one. Okay. Let's just say we want to go with this one. I think this one's pretty interesting. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click on the first page. And what we saw a second ago was each of the individual elements could be animated, which basically means you can download this as a video rather than a PDF, a website, PNGs, whatever. So when we click on this, what you'll see on the individual elements, you see how all of these are individual pieces. When I do that, you'll see this right here is currently switched on, which means it will animate for you. This looks really cool on a website because, you know, whenever you're scrolling through a website for a company, you see things pop up as you start to scroll. That's what Canva's templates are allowing us to do. However, if you were starting completely from scratch, you could do the exact same thing by simply clicking on the element that you want to animate, clicking animate, and then finding which one you want it to be. Whether you want it to be page specific, so the entire page comes up at once, or it's individual element specific like you just saw happen here. So that's exactly how you could make that change if you wanted to. You could also remove the animations completely because mine, for example, it's just scrollable. I don't have any animations on mine, but if you wanted to have them, that's the way to do it. If you don't, you could literally just click remove animation on the bottom left. So what we're going to do first and foremost is I'm going to go ahead and adjust this completely. So we're going to copy, or we're going to scroll over that text and pop your name in. Okay. Then we also want to adjust this little section right here. So let's just say, I don't want to just say fashion photography portfolio or UGC portfolio or media kit. I want to say a little bit about you. Like, why are you different than everybody else? What makes you stand out? So for example, I'm actually going to do this for my sister because I have a good idea for her. So my sister is a Gen Z, and she attracts a Gen Z audience. And she also does a lot of like body positivity content. So if we put body positive Gen Z creator, and then we can put something along the lines of UGC portfolio or something like that. So kind of giving a little bit more information about you rather than just what is going to happen. And then this could be a button, which I'm going to show you right now. So for this, the question is, where are we getting in touch at? Unfortunately, Canva doesn't have the ability to actually send emails yet, where like if they were to click this button, it would go into an email. But we could do a couple of different things here. Do you have an Instagram or a TikTok account or a YouTube that you want to send them to? Do you have a place where maybe you have like different videos in like a Google Drive where you have those hosted? If you, for example, if we're building this portfolio together, you might only be showing like 5 to 8 different videos. But what if you have 40 videos that you've done? Where are those located? That is something that can go right here. And then instead of get in touch, we can adjust this to view full portfolio or send me a DM or something of that nature. Currently, as you can see, it is grouped right now. So that means that this is one element. As you can see, I can go everywhere I want with that element. If I clicked ungroup, it would be 2 individual elements, which can go by themselves. One little life hack, if you accidentally group them or ungroup them and you want to regroup, just push the cursor, the little click button on your mouse, and drag until you get all of the elements that you want in one place, and go ahead and click group, and now it is turned back in to an element. Okay. So with that said, let's say we wanted to adjust this. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup for now. I'm going to select the element that's inside that I want to turn into a link. So let's say we wanted to do this. As you can see, it's starting to look a little weird. So all we have to do is pull this guy out and move it over into the middle. The good news is Canva is going to give you those parameters of whether or not something is center aligned or if it's misaligned. Okay. So now that's where it should be. Then we're going to click this again, pull myself down a little bit, and we can actually click either right click on the element itself, or we can click this button right here. Either way, it's going to get you to where you need to be. We are looking for the link button. Once we click the link button, there are a couple of things that can happen. Either you can actually, which we'll go over in a second, you can either link to something in the presentation that you're building, or you can paste a link. So let's just say I wanted to send them to my Instagram account, for example. I would just copy this link and post it right there. And there we go. So now whenever I go to preview this, theoretically speaking, first of all, I should have all of my new text. I should have all of the animations that I wanted. And now this is a clickable link. So that is exactly how to do that very simply to add those in. Okay. The next thing I want to do is obviously go ahead and adjust this photo. So all you have to do is click on the photo itself. And we can actually just go ahead and delete this one. And you can do one of two things. Either you can come over to the elements and then scroll down until you see frames or grids. Grids are basically just multiple photos in one. So let's just say we wanted to do this, for example. As you can see, it went through the entire background of the first homepage. But all you have to do is move this guy over like this. And then now you have a perfectly built grid that will allow you to embed 3 different photos. And you can also see, like I said a second ago, Canva will start to build those size parameters for you. So it's actively telling me this is probably where this should be. Or if you want it to be at the very middle, you can see that pink line is coming up there as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and go over to uploads, and I'm going to just drop some photos in here that I already have. And that one's a little blurry, so maybe I do this one. Okay, so that's what you can do on the very first page, is add a grid rather than just one photo so they can see a little bit more about you in the very beginning. Okay, something else that we can go ahead and do is now we can change the colors. So let's say the color scheme is not what we want. Let's say the font is not what we want based on what your brand is. In this particular color, or in this particular case, you can go ahead and click background color. And then if you have your brand built into Canva already, you can do it here, or you can also always put in your hex codes at the top. I have mine built, so I'll go ahead and just swap that out. I will also go ahead and swap this one out with my dark blue aesthetic. I will click change all because I do want all of the black things to go to blue. And this should now be blue. As you can see, this should also now be blue. So once I click change all, it did that for me. This is also a different color than I like, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that. So now this matches the colors of my brand. Then I'm going to come in here and make sure the font matches my brand. So I'm going to scroll down, and as you can see, this is Garrett, which is one of my fonts, which is great. But this is open sauce. And my fonts are Garrett and Hammersmith 1. So I'm going to bring that down. And actually, I kind of want to adjust this a little bit because I really want UGC portfolio to be a little bit more boldened. So I'm going to do Garrett and Hammersmith 1. And then down here, I'm going to do the exact same thing, Hammersmith 1 here. Okay. So now I am exactly where I need to be with my photos, my text, my branding, etc. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and click add a page. And then we're going to come back over to the design and determine, do we want to keep building off of the original template that we received, or is there any other pages we want to build from here? You can go through all the different templates. You can go through the more like this. There's plenty of different ways to make this as creative as possible for you. However, one little thing that I am going to do immediately is we're actually going to build a menu together first, okay? So something that's really cool about the Canva website design experience is this right here. You can make this as large or as small as you want it by simply going to the bottom of the second, third, fourth, whatever page and just simply dragging it to exact size that you want. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put this right here. And I'm going to put some text in here. And let's say we just want to do Hammersmith 1. I'm going to pull this over a little bit so it's aligned with the first page, give or take. Let's say about creator, and let's say video examples. And as you can see, that space is there again, telling me exactly how far apart they should be. Photo examples, and then I'm going to lose the space. So I am going to pull this again so I can get exactly where I want to be. And then let's say we choose clients. We put that at 40. And last but not least, let's just say we choose results. You can put whatever you want in here, but those are just the ones that I'm going to focus on today. And I'm going to do what I said a second ago, and I'm going to make them not grouped, but I am going to make them mobile by grouping them by simply, again, clicking my cursor, dragging on the elements that I want, and then moving them wherever I want, in this case, to be in the very middle, okay? So now that we've done that, basically what we are trying to tell Canva is we want the remainder of this particular portfolio to have these things linked, okay? But in order to link them, we have to also make sure that they exist first. So let's go ahead and do what we did before. Let's change all the colors in here so all of that can be done. And you can see it's very seamless now because this color matches this color. With that said, let's go ahead and do add another page. And again, you can choose whatever you want. So let's just say I choose this one and I add another page and I choose this one. And I add another page and I choose this one. And so with that said, what we're going to do is scroll down to the bottom right here where you're going to see something that's called grid view. We're going to click on that. And as you can see, it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you'll see a little pencil show up next to each of them. So let's just call this one. Actually, we won't call that anything because that's technically the menu, okay? So let me show you that's the menu. That's this guy right here, okay? So back in the grid, let's click this one and put about, videos, photos, clients, and I'm going to do one more. Results, okay? So now we have actively labeled those inside the grid so we know what each of these are going to be, okay? So let's say we come here, we go back to our original little menu that we're building together, and then we click about creator because that's the element that we created before. We click that button again. we link it. So before, what we did was we went ahead and added a link to Canva. In this particular case, though, we are instead going to go to the section within our website that completely matches what the menu item is. So in this case, about, click done. Same thing here, link, videos, done, link, photos, done, link, clients, and results. So now, again, if I were to preview this, we have all of our animations. Everything is coming up as they should. But let's say I'm a client and I just want to, I'm buying photos from you, so I want to see your photos. Perfect. Now it is exactly where it needs to be because we built that menu. However, at the very top of the website also, which I don't know if it's going to actually show on here. I don't think it will. But at the top of the website, there's also going to be a little menu that's going to pop up here once we launch the website as well. So they'll have a little right corner menu, whether they're on mobile or they're on desktop. And then they'll also have this that you have created very easily for them so they can go easily back and forth through each of the individual pages because of the anchors that we have actively created by giving each of the pages an individual name. I hope all of that makes sense. I was trying to go as slow as possible to make that one really, really simple for you to understand and digest, okay? Next up, let's say, so about creator, let's say we want to do about creator. Okay. So what I want you to do in this particular section is I want to get to know you. I want to know why I should choose you. I want to know what experience you bring to the table. But here's the kicker. I don't really want you to talk about yourself. I know that's weird. That's very backwards because I'm telling you to literally tell me about yourself. What I want you to do instead, though, is talk to the client in the ways that they need to be spoken about and then add your experience to that. So basically what I mean here is something along the lines, I'm just going to make this up as I go, but something along the lines of, if you are looking for an all-in-one partner that can be a spokesperson for your brand, create content for your TikTok and Instagram Reels, and also create user-generated content for your paid Meta ads, I'm your girl. And here's why. Okay, so I'm going to basically say you are looking for these things. You are trying to increase your revenue. You are trying to increase the lifestyle appeal of your brand. You are trying to increase the exposure of your products. You're trying to increase your click-through rate on your paid ads. Whatever it is that your client or your ideal target audience is currently trying to get from you, and that's why they're in this portfolio, we need to have that in the about section. So instead of immediately jumping into, I am Leslie and I do all of these things, what we're going to do instead is you are client and you are experiencing all of these things. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to make that so much easier for you through the rest of this portfolio. Okay, so that's a little life hack that I personally use that really helps the client distinguish you against everybody else who is talking about themselves. Oh, they're talking about me. They understand me. They did their research and they know that I'm currently struggling with X, Y, and Z because they actively put it in writing. She's got something here. I want to work with her, or something along those lines. Okay. So we want to make sure the about creator is here. As always, again, you can make this as small as you'd like. You can make this as big as you'd like. So let's just say you wanted to do something on your website that was similar to this, but opposite. So let's say we do, again, I'm grouping just like I did before, and we're going to come over here like this, and we're going to bring this baby down like this. So just using this as an example, this is something that maybe you could do for yours. So let's say you put about creator, and let's say you put unique filming style. And then you go into what makes you different. Do you do a lot of things like with a professional, you can't see this, with a professional camera? Do you have a particular like mic system that you use? What makes you different? Again, completely related to what the client would need for hitting their goals. Okay. So let's say you wanted to do something like that. It was literally as simple as making those few copy and paste changes. All right. So let's say we did that, and this is the about section. Now we are moving on to the video section. I'm actually going to go ahead and just delete all of this. So goodbye. I'm going to go ahead and delete this too for now. So we're actually, ironically, even though it's a template, we're starting at a blank slate on this one because this is going to be where we're going to embed embed our videos, okay? So what I like to do personally, this is completely up to you. You do not have to do this whatsoever, but what I personally like to do is I like to come over here to the frames section and click see all, and then we're gonna look for devices. I personally like to do the cell phone because most people are going to be buying content in a 9:16 format, which is that like immersive long phone experience. But I also obviously do YouTube videos as well, and I do training and tutorial videos for clients, so I could also use a laptop or a desktop as well. Whatever you are selling and whatever your portfolio holds, let's click on that one. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and make sure we are staying in the parameters of Canva. I'm going to copy and paste this a couple times, and I'm going to make sure that it stays within the right sizing against each other by simply seeing those 33. I am going to roll over all of them by holding my cursor down and pull it to the middle. I also could hold that cursor down again, and if I wanted to get them a little bit bigger where you can see it's on those outskirts, I could do that all at one time, again, by simply scrolling up with my cursor, getting all of the elements, and then moving them however I wanted, okay? Also, if you wanted to go ahead and group them, you can, and now it's all one element going anywhere we want, which is really helpful. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to actually uploading our videos, okay? So what I want you to see is I obviously have a lot of videos in here that I'm gonna use as examples, but if I go to upload a video, let's see if I can find a short enough one because some of my videos are very long. Let's just say this one. So what you're going to see when you go to upload your video is this right here. It will be like a little purple and blue line at the bottom. If you were to carry this video over to your previewed presentation without it being completely uploaded, without that blue and purple line being fully done, your thing will not show up when you go to click publish. So we want to make sure that it is 100% uploaded before we do that. All right. Then we can literally just click on it, drag it, and drop it right in. Okay. There's number one. Click it, drag it and drop it, click it, drag it and drop it. So you can see this is very simple. However, if you keep things as is like this, you are missing a very, very critical step, because what's going to happen now is all of your videos will start playing automatically when someone goes to your website. So a little life hack that we are going to do to fix that, we're going to click on each individual video itself. Actually, we are going to ungroup the whole thing first. Let's ungroup it first, and then we're going to click on the individual video. We are going to click the word playback, and then we're going to make sure that play automatically is not turned on. So we're going to do that for every single video. Very easy. So now that I've turned all of those off, when someone goes into my Canva portfolio, they will not see all of these pop up. They will have the opportunity to watch them all individually by clicking the individual play buttons. Okay. Hope that makes sense. And again, you can make this as long as you want, as tall as you want. You could obviously make it a little bit bigger. And let's just say you do copy and paste and you have 2 full rows of videos. And then you just start embedding new ones. And then you do the exact same playback process that we just went through. Also, if you ever do what I just did, just Control Z. If you accidentally put it like on top of things, just Control Z to get it to go away. But now we have, 10 different videos, and they all are not play automatically because we obviously copied these elements that did not have the play automatically playback button toggled on, okay? So feel free to put whatever you want in here, as many as you want. I recommend in a portfolio like this, not to overwhelm your potential clients, put the 8 to 10 best videos that you have. And again, like we discussed a second ago, let's say you have done one that was something along the lines of maybe a spokesperson video or a commercial ad, whatever it is. Let's go ahead and put this baby right here, make it a little bit smaller, and do the same thing right here. And then now you have the ability to come back to your videos and maybe pull over. I'm going to add one real fast so you can see how this looks, because I actually just did this yesterday. Let's just say we do this one. All right, so you can see this one is taking a little bit of time to download, but we can go ahead and drag it over here. And then once it is fully uploaded, we have the ability to then show the presentation, publish it, and then it will work just fine. But you can see the difference now is I have a couple of 9x16s and a couple of 16x9s, okay? So the next thing that we can do is go to the photos section, and this is up to you. Again, if you want to have a bunch of stuff on the background that's like maybe an entire carousel, or if you want to do a grid like we discussed earlier, that's completely up to you. If we scroll down, we can see a bunch of different things that you can choose from in the frames, and also obviously a bunch of different grids as well. So let's just say, for these purposes, I wanted to kind of show different, let's say like 1x1 sizes. I kind of like this one right here. Okay, so now you can see that this is building it for me. But again, you can make this as like wide or as tall, whatever as you need. However, as you'll start to see, some of these are not going to fit photos completely correctly. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. If I come over to my images, and let's say I wanted to do this one, you know, I'm like losing a lot of the photo. So I have to kind of pull this down, and then it's not really focused on the product anymore because the product is obviously these little undies. So you can go the direction of the grid if you'd like, or you can easily come over again to frames and choose whichever one you want. Let's say we do a square, and we basically make this just like we did the videos. So the exact same sizing or whatever different sizing you want. And then let's say we want to even stagger these a little bit to kind of make it look cute like that. Completely up to you. You're adding in those frames so you can come back to the uploads and add in the photos themselves. Okay? Hope all that makes sense. But the goal of this would be product focused. So if, like, for example, this is the product was right here. So the product for this particular photo is the blanket itself. The product for this photo is the undies, but also my husband's tall. So I have to kind of move it down a little bit so I can see both of us. So however you want to do that, you totally can, but that is an example of how to add in the images. And obviously, guys, this is like super like lame. Like there's really nothing to it. This is basically just a very easy baseline foundational example of what you could do in these different places. Okay, so you don't have to do too much. You can add a bunch of like frilly things if you want to by simply coming to elements and, you know, determining like what your vibe is. So let's say like boho is your vibe. You can find in the graphics section a bunch of different things to like maybe just add these in. So we bring this down, for example, you make it match your brand, and then maybe you add a couple of those things in. Like there's a bunch of different ways to make this as cool and aesthetically pleasing as possible and really bring out your personality in this, okay? So I don't want it to be bland like it is right now. I really want your personality to be able to shine through this in whatever way you see fit. We could also go ahead and go to elements and all, and then find photos or backgrounds. So if we go to photos, for example, if I drag and drop this, and then I go to position to back, and then maybe I even want to bring the transparency down a little bit so we can see a little bit of a cool background, but it's nothing too overwhelming. I could do the exact same thing with this guy. Bring that transparency down. So you see how we can basically take the stuff that is inside Canva itself to make each of these individual pages a little bit cooler than just slapping on the photo or just slapping on the video. All right. With that said, let's just say we had our clients here. We can delete all of this. And then what I personally like to do, again, this is completely up to you, but what I personally like to do for these is I will go to frames and I'm going to circle, or I'm going to find the circle frame. Okay. I'm going to make this however small I want. And again, we are going to copy and paste a couple of these, however many you want on here. And we're going to actually put our clients in here. So let's just say, for example, Fiverr was a client of mine. I want to put them into these. However, as you can see, we are losing them if we use the circular grid. The reason why is because theirs is obviously rectangular. So if you have clients that have circular logos, or you can get them, let's just say Upwork logo circle. If you want to go this route, for example, there you go. That's another really easy way to tackle that instead of making any changes to the original plan. Let's just go back over here. There we go. So now we have that in there, or you do not have to use these whatsoever. And instead, you can just make these all the same size, give or take. So like, let's say we do that. And now we can start building out the remainder of our clients that we've worked with. So kind of a fun thing to do there. And again, if we wanted to animate each of these things, so let's just say I did Upwork again as an example for today. Let's just say we had these 3 clients that we wanted to spotlight and we wanted to animate them. You can see those different things. You can see rise, pop. I kind of like pop. That's fun. I'm not sure why this one's going second, not third. So you can see how Upwork was coming up before Fiverr was. So I was trying to figure out why. So now we should be able to animate and then pop. For some reason, that's going backwards, and I don't know why, but nonetheless, you'll be able to see those kind of pop up as you open up your new website that you're building. Again, we're going to make this a little bit smaller, and then let's go ahead and add a heading to this. And you can make this as fun as you want for your brand. Happy clients, just like you, something like that. And then we can bold this. We can make this a little title. Bring it up to the top a little bit. Move these guys up too. There we go. All right, so now that's a little bit smaller and it's not an entire section. And then last but not least, we have the results, and I also want a contact page. So the results are completely up to you. If you do not have any results yet, maybe you are brand new to the UGC or influencing space or whatever it is, and you've never made a media kit, you've never made a portfolio. Maybe you are brand new to freelancing, but you really want to get those clients fast and you want to have an optimized portfolio to do so. We can skip the results section for now, but if you did want to add these in, a couple of different ways that you can do this is simply by showing maybe screenshots of viral videos you've made. Maybe you could do screenshots of the actual results page of your client's UGC campaign with your content. Or you could even do screenshots of DMs, screenshots of reviews that you've received on different platforms. Whatever you want to do, that's what the results page is going to be for. Last but not least, we are also going to want a contact page. So what I'm going to go ahead and do really fast is show you exactly what that looks like once it's built. All right, so here is that website again. Let's say I want to come down and just go to contact, for example. I built mine to say, let's work together. And then I've got 2 photos of me. As you can see, this is actually at the bottom. So it's kind of just like a photo of this house I was at. But you'll see I have my website linked. So if I click on this, it will take them directly to my page for freelancing services, which is really helpful to be able to land more clients. You'll also see my email here as well as my social media, whatever I wanted to do. In this case, I did TikTok. You could do Instagram, YouTube, whatever you want. And then that's really all you need on the contact page. Another thing that you could do is instead of let's work together, you could adjust that to be, again, client goals centric. So for example, if you know that they're trying to increase their ROI on their paid ad campaigns, if they're trying to increase the exposure to their products, you can put that instead of let's work together. Also, just a quick little note of exactly what it could look like to have some of those results. I'll show you one here. Your video's got blah, blah, blah views. Here's some case studies that I embedded. So again, it is completely contingent upon who you are, what you're offering, and what kind of clients you want to work with. These are kind of examples of what I have personally done in my own portfolio that has helped me make over a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of money this year. We broke $250,000 in 2024 already, and we did 130,000 in UGC alone. And it is from this portfolio right here, as well as my optimized Fiverr and Upwork accounts that are directly related to selling UGC stuff. But for now, this is a fully optimized, finalized portfolio. Now what you're going to do, once you have yours, I'm going to go ahead and delete these for now. We're going to come up to the publish website space in the top right-hand corner. And as you can see, there's something called the include navigation menu. We do want to toggle that on because that will allow them to have that menu at the top right-hand corner. We also do want to make sure that we are resizable on mobile. So go ahead and do that. Then for the website URL, you can either add your own domain or you can do a Canva site. So let's just choose this for now. Then the subpath is basically going to be the end of it. So in this case, we'll put Megan Cole UGC portfolio. Okay, so whatever you want that to be. And then you can see publish settings if you wanted to also add a website description, which is considered metadata for your website. Okay, so examples of videos and photos generated by Gen Z UGC creator Megan Cole. Okay, let's just say we did that. All right. We can click publish website now. And it's going to take a few moments to bring it up, but you'll see like a little congratulations, your website is live. There we go. Hey, so fun. Now we can go ahead and click view website, and theoretically speaking, all of our animations should work. We should have a menu at the top and all of our links should work. Okay. So we see everything here. Let's go ahead and scroll in fully at 100 give or take percent. So we see all of the things that we changed. We click on this, it takes them to the Instagram account. We click on this, it brings us to our videos. We click on this, it brings us to our clients. Okay, so I hope all of that makes sense, guys. The only last thing I want to show you really quickly is when you come back to Canva, if you ever need to make any changes to this, which you will hopefully because you'll be making more content, you'll be doing more photos, all you have to do is click edit design, and then you can start making changes. However, you're gonna have to also click publish website and go through that little thing we just went through all over again anytime you make changes. If you do not, your changes will not show up on the website link itself, okay? One last little thing before I let you guys go, because I forgot to do it, is if you have something like an Instagram account or something that you're trying to promote, you can either find the graphic there or you can just go to an Instagram logo here on Google as well. Resize it to whatever you want and then pop it wherever you want. So let's just say we wanted to add it here and we wanted to also have, let's just say YouTube. So you want to give them multiple locations that they can see your content. Okay, so we're putting this here. We're keeping it the right size, making sure all of our parameters are where they need to be. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that we've done 3 times now. Link, and then add the Instagram link. Okay, same thing here. YouTube, add the link. It's very, very simple. And then once you click publish website again, those will take them directly to those locations. So I hope this video was helpful. I just wanted to give you guys a free full tutorial of exactly how to build this from start to finish. And then a couple of things that I wish I would have known that I had to find out the hard way, like people going into my portfolio and the videos all starting at once. That was something I had to learn the hard way. So I want to be the person that I wish I had 3 years ago for you guys. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.